So welcome to the Robinson Crusoe edition of our Yin class. This class is all about having no props, no mat, no nothing, not even a timer, and still being able to do our favorite practice. We get quite accustomed and quite attached to our props in Yin. So this is actually a really lovely way that no matter where you are, you can find a quiet spot and actually do a few minutes of Yin to yourself without requiring any additional prop. So, but like in all my classes, only do as much as you feel you can today, as you feel you want to today. If anything doesn't feel right, if you're experiencing any pain or serious discomfort, see if you can adjust with some of the variations they give you. Otherwise, just come to lie down and just join us for the next pose. But please, please, please be aware of your body, listen to it, and do what's right for you today. I hope you enjoy. So, first pose of the day. We're going to come into our butterfly pose, and I want to try and target more the spine than the groins in this pose. So we really want to try and get a nice rounding. I feel that if I bring my feet closer to my pelvis when I do this, I tend to target more the inside of my thighs than my spine. My spine still rounds, but I definitely feel it more here. So I like to bring my feet out a little bit. Maybe some people like to bring it out a lot. Some people love to come into a sort of squat type position for their legs to be able to fold and round better. See what works better for you. Once you find the perfect pose for you today, you just start to soften and let go into it. Now, because we don't have a timer, we're just going to use our breath. So we're going to be here for about 10 to 15 breaths. Scan, notice if you're tightening anywhere in the body, any muscles. If you are, just allow them to let go. Relax into the pose. Notice if your mind starts wandering. If it does, without fighting the thoughts, trying to get rid of them from your breath, from your mind, just come back to the breath. Come back to the body. Notice and feel how the pose progresses, the sensations that the pose creates progress through as time goes by. taking one last big inhale in. And slow exhale out. And really gently using your hands and the strength in your arms to slowly walk you back. Allow yourself a moment here to feel into the pose. Notice any sensations, any feelings of lengthening, softening, any temperature to the area. Does it feel hot or cold? Does it move? Notice the energetics working inside of us after we release a long-held pose. Gently we start to bring some slow movement to the body, bringing our hands up and starting to wriggle our fingers or do circles with our wrists one way, the other. And stretch the arms overhead and point and flex the feet. And we're going to come into our reclining deer here. So this is a pose that targets our quads. And we're going to bring, easier if I show you like this. Our left leg is going to turn behind us, and our right leg comes into like a half butterfly kind of pose. Feel free if you feel like you're leaning onto the side, allow that to happen, allow the body to do that. It's obviously what it wants to do. What we're looking for is the target area is our left quad, that front part of the thigh. As we slowly start to lower our body down, maybe here is enough. Maybe you want to come all the way down onto your elbows. Maybe all the way down to the ground. Wherever you are, just make sure that you're not feeling any pinching or soreness in the knee. Play around with how close the foot is to your buttocks. Even if you're a little bit more into your side, that's absolutely fine. Once you've found somewhere that feels right for you, the appropriate edge, you're not pushing too hard, you're not forcing too much, you begin to settle and become still. Now, everyone breathes at a different pace. I'm very much aware of this, so stay in the poses as long as you need. Feel free to pause the video. Stay as little or as long as feels right for you today. We're going to stay here for 20 breaths. I take quite long and deep breaths when I'm counting my breath to be in a pose. And if that feels good, then go ahead. Otherwise, just breathe naturally. Do it for longer. If you feel a lot of pressure in the lower back, just stay up a little bit more. Maybe on your elbows or on your hands. Allow the head to hang wherever it feels comfortable. The beauty of yin is you don't need to feel the maximum stretch or go to your maximum range of motion to get the benefits of the practice of the pose. A little goes a long way here. So don't worry if you're, after a minute or two, you notice that sensation starts easing off and you start thinking, where am I feeling it more now? And it's, do I need to go deeper, but maybe I can't? That's okay. Still good for you. Slowly we take one last big inhale in. And slow exhale out. And gently tuck the chin to the chest. And just applying pressure onto your elbows to start lifting yourself up. You can tip to the side, bring you up a little easier. But we're going to keep the legs in the same position for our next pose, which we're going to just slowly transition to. Now this pose targets the right glute, maybe the IT band. And again, play around with that position of your foot. Is it closer to the pelvis? Does it feel better out? Maybe if I move it out to the side, it feels good. And as you start folding forwards, notice where in the glutes or the side of the thigh you might start feeling the pose. You might just want to prop yourself up here onto your elbows. Again, we're going to be here another 20 breaths. Just find what is comfortable. Maybe if you move your torso a little bit from side to side, find the appropriate edge. Get to that first sign of resistance and just allow yourself to hang there. It's not about how far you go, it's about the quality of the pose, how it feels. Allow yourself to soften once you're there, become still, to just let it go. One of my favorite quotes, although I probably won't be saying it accurately, of Paul Grillies, one of my teachers and one of the founders of Yin Yoga, is that Yin teaches us how to sit in our own discomfort. And I find when you're doing Yin without any props, this really plays into that kind of aspect, because you're not going to be as comfortable as you normally are. You're not going to build your nest. You're not going to be all fluffy and cozy while you're in the pose. And Yin is not really about that. You always want to be feeling that sensation, that stretch, that stress. Just not too much, just so that it's bearable. But I find that the longer you sit and continue to be still, even when you're uncomfortable, it improves, and that power of sitting in your own discomfort becomes stronger and stronger the more you do this practice. So notice I'm being bitten by mosquitoes, I've got sand all over me. keep freaking out that there's snakes under these floorboards that are gonna come up and bite me. And it's alright. You just sort of give in to that, appreciate it, see if you can let it go and be still in all of that going on. Find that calm in your storm. Taking one last big inhale in and slow exhale out. Really slowly taking your time to exit the pose and come to lie down or sit up. Hi Katana. How are you? Good, thank you. Whatever is comfortable for you. I know it's okay, I'm just doing a video. Welcome the distractions. Just allow yourself to feel that pose. Notice the physical sensations, anything from numbness, pins and needles, tingling. Our rebound is not necessarily only physical. Notice any emotions, any thoughts, any insights that might be coming up. Gently we start to bring movement back into our body. If you're sitting up like me, you can start to circle your neck. If you're lying down, just start to move fingers and toes and stretch. And you can hug the knees to the chest. And then swaying to side, massaging the lower back. And eventually coming back up to seated. We're going to move into our other side. So coming into our reclined deer first. This time it's bringing the left foot closer to the pelvis, bending it in front of you, and your right foot flips back closer to the buttocks. And again, adjust that position for you. Be different. I'm very much more unstable on this side than I am on the other one. I have a lot less external rotation on this left side, so definitely tilts me a little bit. But again, that doesn't matter. I can still get a good stretch in the front of my right thigh, and I start coming down. Notice where you need to be today. I'm getting a really nice stretch here. you want to come all the way down. Release all the way to the floor. Bring my leg, right leg, even back more. It's even more intense. It's a lovely stretch. Now we're doing our 20 breaths here. And I know I said this is a no props class, but obviously if you're at home and you have your props and you really want to use them, please feel free to do so. So bring my arms out like this. I actually start getting a really nice stretch in my shoulders a little bit. Little added bonus. I find that when I don't have any props, I start playing around a little more. I guess it takes me maybe a little longer to settle, but it's always moments where I then start finding funky things to do, combining poses or using things that are there that I never thought I'd need to use. So see if this unleashes some creativity for you also. Notice if you get distracted by the mind. If you did, without getting frustrated, just come back to your breath, come back to that awareness in the body, the physical sensations happening. I find with not having a timer or your phone, and having to count the breath, it keeps you a lot more anchored into the pose. I find my mind at least tends to wander a little less when I'm having to focus on that. Taking one last big inhale in. And slow exhale out. Really slowly, the tipping to the side, tucking your chin in, using your elbows to slowly bring you back up. as we transition straight to our next pose, looking for that stretch, that stress in the glutes side of the thigh, as we come to fold forwards this time. And again, play around with that position of your foot, of your knee, of your torso. I struggle to get into this pose on this side because I have crappy external rotation on this side and crappy internal rotation on this side. Whereas if you swap it around, it's all really good. So if you are really struggling to find anything in this pose, feel free to just open that leg out. You come into your swan, sleeping swan. And maybe that works better for you. You can always flip that leg behind, bring it in front of you, and see if maybe a sort of shoelace pose, stacking it maybe works better. The other side, like that. See here, I can find a nice stretch in the area I'm trying to target. Remember that a pose doesn't need to be the same on both sides. It also doesn't need to be as long on either side. We're so different side to side in our bodies, from our skeletons and all that attaches to them, from our muscles, our ligaments, our tendons, but also our habits and our preferences, which leg we lead with, what hand we write with. Means that things develop differently side to side. One side might be tighter, the other one not so tight. More muscle on one side than the other. It's part of that variety, that uniqueness. And so that body awareness that we try to bring into ourselves when we're practicing yin, we really want to get it to the point where you can discern for yourself in a way, discern for yourself in a way how long you should be in it, what it should look like on one side, and the same for the other side. There is no exact science, no exact rule about your yin practice. Just do what feels right. Taking one last big inhale in, and slow exhale out. Really slowly coming out of the pose, come to find your rebound. Notice the effects of the pose. Notice what's going on. What's going on in the body, in the mind. What's going on with your breath. Notice your heartbeat. Has it slowed since you started the practice? Notice your state of mind. You feel more calm, more peaceful. Maybe not. Maybe this whole no prop yin has got you all flustered. That's okay too. Gently start to move the body again. And stretch and curl. And we come into our last pose of the day, of the class. So we're just going to come into a simple twist. Twists can require very little. So we're just going to come and lie on our backs, bring our knees to the chest. This is going to be a simple twist. Our arms come out to a T position. Some people like to have them up above the head, and that's great. If the knees are floating up or the shoulders floating up, that's okay. If I bring my shoulder up, my knee comes down. It's kind of that counterbalance. You reach the end of your range of motion here. I'm not really feeling any tightness, but it's just how the body works, how the spine works. If my shoulder stays down onto the floor, then my knee lifts up. I can change that around by moving my knee around. But if I lift my shoulder up, there it goes. And so maybe the shoulder is up and the knee is down. That's also okay. Find what is most comfortable for you. You'll be here for 10 to 15 breaths. I think what has been coming up in my mind throughout this practice is that so many of the poses I got into are not your stereotypical yoga poses. They look strange, probably not aesthetically pleasing, certainly are not going to make it onto the cover of Yoga Journal, but they were effective for me. They did the job. And so it's that big reminder to everyone that yoga is not about how it looks, how the pose is supposed to look. Yoga is about how it feels. And if it felt good, then it was exactly what it should have been like. Function over aesthetics. What is the purpose? What are you trying to achieve in the pose physically? Mentally too. You know, if you go too far into the pose because you want to look a certain way, what does that do to your mind throughout those 3 minutes? My guess is nothing good. Soften, let go, suspend yourself in the moment. Taking one more big inhale in. Slow exhale out. And gently bringing the knees back to center. Take a moment here if you need before coming to the other side. Become still, become soft, relax. Sometimes it takes me like the whole 3 minutes to find that perfect spot. Not every day. Sometimes it's okay to try and stay relaxed through it. Every time you move or adjust, remember to soften afterwards. The benefits are still there. Taking one last big inhale in. Slow exhale out. Slowly unwinding out of the pose and taking a moment to rebound. Relax the whole body, making it effortless so that you can focus into those sensations. Gently start to bring the movement back, moving fingers and toes and stretching the arms overhead, pointing and flexing the feet, stretching out through the whole front body, bringing the knees to the chest. You can give them a hug. Feel free to rock and sway a little side to side. Coming to rest on your side, taking a moment before slowly making your way back up to a comfortable seated position. Sit tall, relax the shoulders down, feel like the crown of the head is reaching up. Soften your jaw, soften that area around the eyes, and just take a moment to try and absorb everything around us, where we are, keeping the eyes closed. Imagine your position in the room. Notice how your body feels. Notice if you have any exposed parts of the body, how the air feels against it. Notice the sounds around you, those furthest away. Those closer to you. Try and see if you can notice the sound of your breath. Trying to keep this awareness of the moment. We bring our hands to our heart. May we have good thoughts. May we speak good words. May we do good deeds. Namaskar. Thank you everyone for joining. I hope you enjoyed the class. I hope you feel good afterwards. It was by far accurate. I'm sure the difference between sides to sides of my counting is not precise, to say the least, but embrace that. If you want to do the same amount of time on each side, please have your phone handy and just take as much time as you need in between. Enjoy your day, enjoy your evening.